and I run an Android, so I don't know if you run something different.
Because Androids are
wait.
far superior. So
Oh, it might actually let me do it. Hold on.
Well, they are.
I didn't even realize that.
yeah, if you go across to your brand and just hit the thing, we'll
Yeah.
start.
Well, no, the brand wasn't there, but
Oh, he did something silly.
He
Just
did.
move yourself. Yeah.
Run an intro.
Aluminum Spork.
All right. Well, I'm here. I don't know who else is, but I am. It's good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm on my phone. It's always so much fun. Yeah. Yeah, that was good times. How's everybody doing tonight? This is the aluminum spork, I believe. I've given my stupid computer a few minutes to rest because, you know, it sucks. I hate this layout. So if we could change that, that'd be great. But I don't think I could do it from here because, you know, I don't know how to run the show like this. Just make it the normal one. Please, Grant. Please. I beg of thee. I beg you. How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to discuss stuff. I'm so frazzled right now. My kid is screaming like a madman, and it's just for like the last hour screaming for daddy. It's just somebody else talk. How are you all? And how's everything?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing great. I just hit 10,000 subs, and I don't feel
rub it in, you
accomplished
son of a bitch.
until I've doubled your sub count. Then I think I will feel like I've really gotten somewhere. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Oh, what? You need like 100 more to double mine? I don't even know.
Maybe like 4. I think it's like 2, maybe 200. But I'm getting there, Scott. I'm at 10,100 now. So thanks, man.
10,100.
I really appreciate all your support.
Just tell me where I sell my soul to your Wiccan evil ways to get this, and I'll do it.
This is what it comes down to. All right. I finally realized we've been competing against each other who can whine better for like 4 years now. I am a superior whiner, sir.
That is true.
And if you would all like to learn how to gaslight bitches, please come to see Lodana's Dragon Storm. I hang out with Immortal Coil over on his channel too. What's up, dude?
Hail. You listen to the voice of Immortal Coil, one of God's own prototypes, a high-powered mutant of some kind, never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, too rare to die. I'm just about 1,000 hours away of getting monetized, so if any of you guys care to check out some of the older live streams on my video, I got quite a bit of shorts too, but you know, just open up a tab and put on a live stream and mute it and just, you know, vacuum or whatever you do. But it's good to be back on the Sporkin show. You know, I was a frequenter here a couple years back, and it's been a while. I still bullshit with Scott here and there, but this is reminding me of the old fourth wave days, man.
Yeah, hell, man, it's good to have you on here, bro.
Yeah.
It is good to have you on here. Miss you. I don't know what's going on with you know, people try to make it a thing too. That's the funny thing. Anytime you don't stream with someone for a while, they're like, what happened? What's going on? Nothing. I'm stupid and lazy and forgetful. And as you can tell, broke because my damn computer sucks, even though I spent like $2,000 on the thing like 2 years ago. Now it's dead.
But Grant's your savior, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Grant, his masculinity.
You know what, dude? If you didn't actually, yes, thank you. As always, Grant is always there. But Walton, if you didn't tell me I can actually log in, because I logged in with my email, but then you have to log in again as yourself. So I didn't realize that on StreamYards. Yep. I am Gen Gen X boomer, and it happens. Machismo though for $20. Thank you very much, sir. Hold on, can you guys? No, you won't be able to hear it. Damn. He says hello, LOL or lol, as the kids say. And here I thought I was running late. Be there in, let's say, 5. Give or take 15 minutes. Well, it's 9 o'clock, and you're not here, so you're a liar.
I think he meant when he sent that message. He sent that message
And
10
when-
minutes ago.
Okay, 10 minutes ago. Damn it, you're always backing him. Thank you for the $20, buddy. It'll go to the new power supply. I don't even know what's happening, Grant. We'll have to figure that out. We, meaning me, but I'll take any advice. So, Grant, how are you tonight?
Yeah, doing good. Almost at the 450,000 sub mark. So waiting to get there. So.
God damn.
Killing it.
But apart from that, yeah, I finally got some confirmation from YouTube. I'm never getting monetized on my channel.
Why is that?
So, well, they're coming up with a bunch of different excuses now because I had a strike against my channel when I got hacked. That's basically permanently kicked me out of the YouTube program, and you have to be a part of the YouTuber program to be able to be monetized. So,
that's some bullshit, dude.
Revenue services. So,
I bet they're still making money off of your videos, though.
yeah. Like like my biggest video's got like 52 million, and they still run ads on it. So,
Dude,
Yeah.
that's incredible. But well, you've got to go to another platform, Grant. You have the talent. You know how to build a channel. So maybe it's just time to go to Rumble or something.
Yeah.
I actually think, Grant, you would do amazing over at Rumble. They allow you the freedom of the stuff you like to do. I mean, even like the shorts, and granted, they don't have shorts yet, but like the shorts you made for me would have been fine over there. You know?
yeah, I hope so. Speaking
Somebody's
of
in the
shorts,
back.
Hey, hello.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, you just
Hi.
got out of the shower.
No, I've been out for a minute now.
What, does he sound wet?
You air drying?
Do I sound wet to you?
Moist.
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 I would say moist. Yeah.
Wow, this damn computer was asking me if I want to just, throw everything to the wind and just restart everything. Yeah, that's great. All my files.
When
Hey!
you restart, keep hitting F8 until it comes up with another screen and might say restore previous settings. That
Yeah.
Oh,
worked. And click that.
great.
Yep.
F8.
Thank God we
Hi.
have nerds.
Yeah,
When you
nerds.
restart,
I'm leaning into my microphone like
Right.
I'm even using that. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Hi.
Boy,
Feeling great.
Can someone turn him down the hair?
No,
It's not
he's-
going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'll try to. You know what? I'll drop my mic a little farther down. Does that help?
I mean, we can
You're not
literally
using
flip.
the mic.
Is somebody here producing? Is there a host?
Why don't we just start the show? Okay, that'll be great.
How about that?
I was gonna say you're blowing out my ears. I was just worried about the audience, and you can turn down your volume right here in StreamYard.
Well, they got volume, and I got volume, and we all got volume, and
He's on his phone right now, man. He
I
doesn't know what
literally
he's-
have my mic down near my,
Oh my God!
genitalia.
Well,
Mortal.
Hey,
You've all-
Chad. Hey,
you-
Slender. Hey, Pickles.
oh
You know,
yeah,
you
on
can-
the chat.
Yeah, you can turn down your own volume on your own device too. That
Well,
might
yeah,
help.
he says I'm not too loud. I'm not too loud.
He's
Thank you.
never asked it.
LDG is always getting my back. Love you, man. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys check out his channel and show Matt how to use volume on his computer.
Yeah.
So, Matt, how's everything going, buddy? How are you?
it was going
You're looking
well
great.
until I came in here and got all this attitude.
No attitude, bro. Just love. Just love. You know, I got to put it back near because I can't even hear you guys, and I have my volume all the way up. This sucks. So,
You're doing great.
yeah, I am so lost. I don't even know what my topics are right now.
Well, I got one. So
Yeah, start with something.
yeah. Shredda and I have been I've been watching this show called oh fuck, what's it called?
Oh, great.
Oh,
Dropping the ball,
fuck.
man.
Totally wanna
it's on
cover it.
Apple TV. Fuck me, dude.
I
Anyway,
keep forgetting. You don't remember, do you? What's it about? Can you give us what's it about?
yeah. So don't forget when I tell you this. It's produced by M. Night Shyamalan,
Does it have a gin in it?
but he does
Is
no, but he doesn't.
somebody
Ah,
Okay, so servant you're talking about.
Servant, that's it. Yeah, basically this cuckoo banana chick, this wife, right, had a baby something happened to the baby, and now they are doing this therapy where they give her a doll, like a fake baby, but she thinks it's real, and then they hire a au pair, and then crazy shit starts happening and weird, and then the baby is a real baby now. Nobody knows where the baby came from. It's fucking crazy. And
Have they gone through the door yet? Yep.
We just finished the first season.
Right. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, because that came out like I want to say 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. There's like 4 seasons, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I have my phone still set up, so if I fall out and this damn computer dies,
Dude,
we will be okay. So could you just throw that all back at me? What was it again?
Can you even hear us?
The show?
Can you hear us?
Is it frozen for anybody
No.
else? It's frozen for.
I can hear everything just fine.
I didn't want to talk. You can see me.
Can you hear
God
us,
help
Scott?
us.
You're
Earth,
muted.
you're muted.
We can't hear you on your other one.
I can hear you now, though.
Oh, okay.
I
cool.
muted on that one. I'm sorry. I put it in the wrong hole. Happens sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Man, that's it's always better just to give up and let her do it, you know?
Yeah. Guide me to the promised land. That's what I would say. Yeah. Soul wants you to know. So the eclipse, end of the world, or a bunch of idiots freaking out for nothing? Glad you brought this up.
Y2K all over again.
Yeah. Well, you know, there is some historical points to this idea of the X coming through America. Oh God, what was that noise? I'm so scared.
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
What it was. So 18,
your ex,
right?
your ex came through to America, did she? Was she tracking you down?
Oh, dude, you don't want that one. She's nuts. But 1806.
Oh, yeah? What's her number?
Yeah, you would. You would. I got like 10,000 subs, lady.
I've never heard someone jump so quickly to be abused.
He loves it.
He's
like, put on the high heels and step on my scrotum. You know, like that type of stuff.
Fuck
Ash on my face and talk down to me.
Yeah.
We don't kink shame, Mad. Okay, we all have different kinks.
He owns a lot of cellophane wrap. You know, like plastic wrap.
Hooks in the ceiling, bro.
Yeah, where he hangs from 2 rings in his testicles.
Honestly, it sounds like you need to get better at sex. If all that has to be included, this sounds like a skill issue.
What if you're just bored though? Like, what if you want to like add to your, add to your the excitement?
How bored do you need to be to penetrate your testicles?
That's a very good question.
Listen, I've been around for a minute, happily in a relationship, 100%. But yeah, I don't find it boring. I never have.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't tie her up. No ticklers going on. Like,
what?
Well, I mean, he avoids the hot wax and that sort of thing for obvious reasons. But like,
gotcha.
I get it.
Oh, that's unnecessary too, man.
You got a manscape. What are you talking about? That's a very important aspect.
He was talking about candle wax.
Yeah, candle wax and nipple rings on men.
They finally came out with a Nair. It's called Nads for mid.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Can you throw me a link, Matt, when you get a chance?
You put it in the wrong
okay,
spot. You put it in the
I
background.
did. I know.
Share it with me.
Thank you, sir.
I'll send you a link to CVS.
All right, thank you. Did Scott freeze again? He's really happy. Look how happy he is in this moment.
Can we get this?
He really takes manscaping seriously.
Can we get a screenshot, please? I need this.
Yeah, look at that. All right.
He's really very happy.
That's
you guys
like
are terrible
when
human beings. Terrible human beings.
You've had to piss for like 2 hours and you finally get to. That's the kind of smile right there.
Gonna remove that poor bastard. Okay, there we go.
He's already got the screenshot, thanks.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I know you'll be masturbating to that later, you freak. And I'm not kinking shame. No kink shame here, buddy. No.
I feel like that one deserves a little shame.
Yeah,
I mean a lot of shame, actually. Yeah. So, comments. Comments.
Oh yeah, you said there was some history to why we should be worried.
You were talking about like the X over the United States.
Right. Back in 1806 and 1811, there was 2 full solar eclipse, including Halley's Comet flying through around that same time, and there was some major natural disasters like earthquakes and things like that. And we just had one over in Jersey that family members of mine and people I know felt.
Yeah, but they have 4 or 5 a year. They're on a fault line.
Yeah, dude, I live right around here, and you don't feel earthquakes around here. Like, it's one of the more massive fault lines, but it's usually like a 1.8. Like you're like, wait a minute, did I fart? You know, like you don't realize it's an earthquake, but that was a 4.8. Now, if I had all my info up, I would tell you how high the Richter scale goes right now, but I'm a little flabbergasted.
To a 10, isn't it? I know Taiwan got hit by 7.8.
9.9 is the highest.
9.9 is the highest.
My bad. I was off 0.1.
Still, 4.8 is one of the bigger ones I've heard of in this area.
That's almost half.
Dude, it woke me up. My house was shaking when the earthquake happened.
You live in Jersey area. Like,
yeah.
How often does that ever happen?
Hardly ever. I mean, I can remember 1, maybe 2 in my lifetime. It's a rare event.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
I mean,
statistically,
so
I just want to make an apology. In 2019, they actually changed it from a 9.9 to a 10.
Motherfuckers.
Rock on. That is our man Mad Mardigan there with fun facts.
Hell yeah, I remember Saved by the Bell.
Sparking fact.
I can't believe you stepped on that.
The YouTuber. Fighting on back roads and back rooms. How they saving the future. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm not so mad.
I had to do that because I know I cut your joke off. I apologize.
I remember Saved by the Bell. Remember the episode of Saved by the Bell when Mr. Belding's wife was pregnant, and then there was an earthquake at the same time that the movie Earthquake came out.
You never notice that happens? Like, they were preparing Hollywood, like people in California, for sliding into the ocean, just like, you know, like the asteroid movies and stuff like that. The only Saved by the Bell one I ever remember really well is "I'm so excited."
Oh yeah,
I'm so excited.
Man, those caffeine
pills. I'm so scared. And then right into
Saved by the Bell. He was a superhero, correct? Because he had the ability to freeze time. Like, he'd be in the middle of a conversation, he'd freeze time, and then he would talk to the camera for a minute, and then go back.
Yeah,
and he was also one of the earliest adopters of cell phone.
That's true.
Yeah, he had the brick. I liked how suddenly, like, Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley weren't there, and it was this girl named Tori, and then suddenly they were back, and they never talked about Tori ever again.
Yeah. So some of the best are when they were at the beach. They worked at the beach where Lisa Turtle's parents had a membership. That was great. Hawaii was fun.
That was pretty good.
It's also a little bit weird that when he moves off to go to college, that the principal follows him.
Why is that weird?
You know what, though? That kind of runs me right into our main story.
Hey, did he?
Can I finish that up real quick?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so on Funny or Die, they had this series called Zach Morris's Trash. Zach Morris's Trash. It's hilarious because you go back, you're like, wow, he was really a dick.
Oh God, yeah. Think about cool. AC Slater and him. They were the guys you didn't want to hang out with in school.
But dude, that's the thing. All those male leads in those series were all absolute douchebags. You look at like Ross in Friends, JD in Scrubs,
Dawson in Dawson's Creek.
Dawson was he's one of the worst. My God, like, and these were the main guys. These were the heroes. You know what series you didn't have douchebags like that?
The OC.
The OC.
Yep. I was I was waiting.
100%.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
Granted, welcome to the OC, bitch. Is yeah.
Oh, what was his name? What was the
the one who had gay dads?
Yep. Well, he only had one gay dad.
That's true. That's true.
Luke.
Yep. It was Luke.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't Googling it to remember who it was.
So Seth Cohen, Adam Brody has this amazing movie I've been trying to get everybody to watch called Kid Detective. It is
dude,
phenomenal.
I watched a little bit of it. Amazing.
Right?
Yes, I just haven't been able to finish it, dude. Please give a little rundown of that show or that movie.
Well, basically it's kind of a noir, but present day. He was a kid detective and was solving all these crimes, and then a case he couldn't solve. It was a real case, and now he's a grown up and he's still a private detective. But everyone kind of hates him now because they're over him being this kid detective, and he says he's trying to redeem himself in his reputation by solving a murder. And it's funny, but it's also really serious, and then the ending.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't exactly say it's overly funny, but
no,
especially the climax of an ending. But
is it more of a drama? I would say.
Yeah,
like
well, it's a good mix. It's a good mix.
Yeah.
Is it better than
Is it one of
Detective
those?
Pikachu?
Of course.
Is it one of those movies like the Garden State where it's like kind of
no,
lighter, funnier? Yeah.
Okay, good. That like dry. It's not even dry sense of humor. It's like melancholy sense of humor.
It's more like my sense of humor for the most part. Dry,
Yeah,
but fun.
Okay,
but it's not a fun movie. It's fun. How do you? I don't
just like a junior high dance, right?
No,
it's dry but fun.
Dry humping. I'm glad we
good.
got 48 people watching live right now.
But
Thank you,
anyway.
everybody, for being here.
Kid Detective. Make sure you check it out. It is really worth a chance.
Well, and hail to the chat. Be sure that you're thumbs upping, sharing this out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need all the support we can get. And then check out our channels, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I do. I'm not even at 600 subs yet. Come on.
Yeah, please share, guys, share Immortal's link. Let's get him to, 6. Where are you at?
I'm at 588.
He was also pretty good in American Fiction. So I was just trying to
All right, you're at 588. We got like 49 people watching. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you guys check him out and let's get him there live while I'm on my phone.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that one too, Grant.
Huh.
Yeah, no, that was much better
American
than I thought
Fiction
it was going to
with Peoples.
Yep, because he takes care of his peoples.
That's right. That's only
Look
for
who
you.
shows up.
Yeah. Have y'all seen American Fiction yet? With what's Peoples' real name?
He's got a real white
Jeffrey.
name. Right.
Dean Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. That's it.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright.
No, I haven't seen that.
Man,
he's
it's
a
good.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He was played
absolutely.
that artist Basquiat or from the 80s.
Beauty and the Beast?
No. He's the same guy who played the tortured artist in the 80s, Andy Warhol. It's a biopic. Basquiat. He's like,
wasn't Andy White?
I was gonna say, yeah.
What?
Andy has a little bit of a different
No.
complexion to the black guy that played Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he played. Yes. Andy Warhol was white. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My Pittsburgh cred would drop out, but his protege was a young black artist.
Magical.
Basquiat.
Basquiat.
That's yep.
Baguette. I couldn't think of his name.
By the way, yeah, it's a different spelling of white. It's right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. What?
White.
Did any of you guys catch that Quiet on Set docu-series on Max?
No.
It's disturbing, dude.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know you're good.
I don't need
okay,
that
we want to
board.
talk about fun. No, man, it just goes to like
that P. Diddy.
This is about child actors, right?
Yeah,
Man,
child actors. So the majority of it is really about one guy and his like kind of being a little like, over sexualized with the content he put on those shows, like, girls getting hit in the face with water and stuff. And it was supposed to, as an adult, you'll see it differently as you did as a kid. But there was, it's just that, like, man, next to the Catholic Church, Hollywood is a pedo garden. Like, these guys are on like, the guy literally got arrested, this guy, Brian Peck, for doing some terrible things to that kid, Drake Bell from Josh and Drake or Drake and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out within a few months and was back on a show, The Sweet Life, I think was the name, on Disney.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they recycled.
The ones that has the twins on it, where only one of them acts now because the other one's too traumatized.
It's kind of the same thing you see in other organizations. Somebody get in trouble, you just move them to a different area.
Mhm.
Well,
A
we
different
saw
place.
that we were just talking
Sure.
about Saved by the Bell. Screech like freaked out and got in a bunch of violent altercations, and I think he's dead now.
Yeah,
He's dead
Dustin
now, yep.
Diamond. Yeah.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute, Dustin Diamond died?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
a
Yeah.
while
Dead for a
ago.
couple years.
He got diagnosed with cancer, and then 4 weeks later he was dead.
Oh my God.
That's why you
He-
never go to the doctor.
Yeah, dude, that's literally that's what he said.
Agreed.
Because he said he didn't even feel sick. He had to go to a checkup for his insurance, and they said, "Oh, by
Mm.
the way, you have
prostate
cancer."
cancer
and
will
then he
do it
died.
to you. I wonder what type
Yeah.
it was.
He would have died of natural causes 4 weeks later if he wouldn't have went to the doctor.
It was Hollywood cancer.
And if he died 2 years later, it would have been COVID.
He had information that would have led to the arrest of Hillary.
Man,
That was it.
I guess speaking of, I guess AC Slater came out the best out of Saved by the Bell. Zach Morris, he's doing okay.
Yeah, he was on a couple of like Law and Order type shows, but
Yeah, yeah.
Slater's more of like a game show host kind of.
Oh man, I loved when he played Ryu with Pete Holmes
Yeah,
So
from
bad.
Street Fighter. Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, God.
fucking hilarious. But yeah, Lisa Turtle, I haven't seen her since How High with Method Man and Redman.
Yeah, I think she got
That
went
was
down
a
on
great
drugs or
movie.
something, and then we all saw Jesse naked. So
Yep. And then Tiffany
Mhm.
Amber Thiessen,
she
one
got
of my
naked too. Yeah.
one of my
God bless her.
crushes of all time. She went from that to 90210 Beverly.
Yeah,
Yep,
she
yeah,
got
that's right.
she got big surgery boobs.
I
Oh
was
my
more
God,
of a
she was the
Topanga.
bad girl.
I was more of a Topanga guy myself.
Yeah, you're a little younger.
There you go.
I'm a
Mhm.
Kelly Kapowski, and then her on 90210. She was the bad girl smoking pot in the up in the house where Mr. and Mrs.
When this
What the hell were
meets
they?
So it's-
world.
Yeah, so you'd take Winnie Cooper home to meet your mom, but then you'd go and
Yes.
have a second date with 90210. Yeah.
Strange
I'm a
enough, the
pink.
last-
I'm a Pink Ranger. I'm a Pink Ranger kind
What
of
the
guy.
fuck? You know, Fred
Amy J.
Savage.
Johnson.
Fred
Which
Savage.
one's the older one, Fred Savage or Ben Savage?
Fred is
is the
Wonder
older one.
Years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's a director now. He directs quite
Dude,
a bit of
big
stuff.
big time. Yeah. Some of these child actors that didn't go, like, he played one. I remember him in a couple movies, like, but he did like an after school special type of movie where he was like the jock abusive boyfriend that I think killed killed
wait.
the girl from oh God.
You're not talking
the
about the
one with
Ben
the
Affleck
Olsen
one, are you?
twins. No, the one with the Olsen twins. You know the show with the Olsen twins, the oldest one. Her last name's Beret.
Full House?
Yeah, Full House, the oldest sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Candice.
Candace-
Full House. I'll
Candace
ask the
Cameron.
wife, she'll know.
Candace Cameron.
So Candace Cameron was in a movie with
Yeah, Candace
with
Cameron.
him. Yeah, they were in a movie together where he like ends up
she-
killing her because of
Yeah,
domestic
he
abuse.
beats her over the head with a
Yes.
log.
Yeah, it made me
God damn, Kevin.
He was supposed to be this real tough, abusive looking guy, but he was like half her
He's
size.
Kevin. Dude,
We
he's
needed to have the
Wonder Years.
voiceover where he's like, and I remember beating her with a 2x4. It was an awkward moment in my life.
How
Dude,
did
that
we
would've been
never
awesome.
how do we not cover this during Street Smarts? This is the first. Now you're gonna give
Oh
me
my God, you've
fucking
never-
after school specials?
Bro,
Yes.
someone find it. If you can find it, we'll play some of it because even if it's like the trailer for it, it's just you couldn't take Fred Savage and make him the
Yeah.
vicious killer, abuser. It just
He's got the
no.
last name for it.
That
he
happens a
does.
lot. If you my Glory, one of my favorite movies of all time,
Great
one of the
movie.
best ever.
Oh, one of
But
the
Matthew Broderick though could not believe they would follow him. You know, the beginning
right.
when he's a when he's a puss, yeah, he's perfect for
Yes.
that role. But
Yes.
he never turned into someone who inspired could inspire
think?
people. You know,
well, it was kind of. I mean, when you got Denzel behind you and he's now like
Doesn't
likes
help.
you.
yeah,
No, it helps when he gets shot and dies,
Right.
and then Denzel's like, "Come on!"
absolutely, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Movie,
Oh, and that
dude. I
score,
love
man.
movie.
Oh, that score's so awesome there at the end. Oh, such a good movie. Also, Orlando Bloom in Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut's the best. But I'm looking at him, I'm like, bro, you too cute for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, look
yeah.
at your eyelashes. You're gonna be
Yeah,
you're telling
dude.
me that you
You need elf ears. You need elf
Right.
ears. Yeah, like no way you are what I think is like a warrior unless you have magical
Right.
abilities.
Orlando
I'm
Bloom.
the same,
No.
Brian.
So if they don't have the trailer, they've only got a
Okay.
30-second clip, or they have the entire movie.
Let's
Well,
go with
save the
30
entire
second-
movie for
yeah,
us.
and I'm joining you on that one.
All
And
right.
also, what they've done is they've done 2 modern day versions of it because apparently it was based on a real life case. And in the updated one, it was Shannon Doherty playing a 20-year-old, which was 4 years ago. So yeah,
What?
you gotta watch that one
Oh
as
yeah,
well, yeah.
I need to see that. That's got to happen.
Doesn't she sound like she like a 60-year-old smoker now though?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Palm all
Yeah,
100s.
cancer does that to you.
Oh my god, I can't wait till I turn 21. We're gonna tear it up.
Actually, I got the trailer here. All right.
Fantastic.
You're
Back
doing
to
good,
the
Scott.
phone. Yeah, back to the
You're doing
phone.
good.
At least if we're just bullshitting, I'm fine with it. I'll change
Yeah.
the name of the stream
For what?
To
to Mad
aluminum
Topics. Mad Topics.
There you go.
I can't add. Oh, I can't add it. Where is it? How do I find that?
Well, then, speaking of
God.
child
ready?
actors, yeah. What's his name? Corey Feldman. He's always talked about the Kevin
Being
Spaceys of
diddled.
the you know.
Yeah.
He went
Well,
to
and
the
Charlie
police
Sheen.
too.
Yeah, he filed a report against Charlie Sheen, and but they said because it was over 5 years old, they couldn't do anything about it because the statute of limitation
Well, they all-
had happened.
When they were questioning him about Michael Jackson years, when he got older, at one of the police stations in California, he was like, I don't know why you're asking me about Michael. He's done nothing to me. I've told you guys this 100 times, but there are, and he gave names, I guess, of people in Hollywood, and the cops never did anything about it. I mean, when this kid, real quick, when this kid Drake Bell went to court, he had to actually go at the end to the sentencing and talk. And I guess half of Hollywood was sitting behind the abuser, Brian Peck.
Oh my God.
And the only people on his side of the court were him, his mom, and his brother. Because his dad couldn't go because he literally would have tried to kill the man. So they wouldn't allow him. And
Yeah.
Well,
messed up.
with Feldman and everything, the doctor that they all sent him to, the one that declared him basically crazy, was the same guy that they tried to get Chappelle to go to, and it was the same
Right.
doctor that came out and said that oh yeah, Chappelle has a crack problem and everything like that. The same guy has diagnosed all these people who have come out and publicly had a go at Hollywood as being some sort of loon.
You know who wasn't a bad person in Hollywood? Young Mr. Savage here. Let's see what he's all about.
All right, you ready?
He's so sweet. Yeah, what happened to your back?
Yeah, you get. Oh, she deserved it.
her. You know that's Kirk Cameron's sister?
Sister, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she deserved that too.
We have to stop seeing each other. I can't have her.
Why do you keep running the doorknobs?
I mean,
She spilled the
towers
milk.
over him.
He's wearing lifts. He's wearing lifts.
No one would tell.
Got a little jealous.
No one would tell. No one.
No one would tell that Fred Savage kicked the shit out of you. I'm Fred Savage,
By
bitch.
the way,
Right.
did you see her in her grandmother fucking sweater at the school dance? What a
Yeah.
She's a brain.
I gotta wear
it's
long
just-
sleeves because my boyfriend abuses me. Whatever.
She doesn't even play a good abused girlfriend. She's not scared enough. What?
No.
Rooting for Savage? What?
Just a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That was a good one.
Dude, you definitely have to do that show or that movie
Yeah.
on your channel. And I'll join you for it because it's a good one.
There's talks about a reunion
Oh,
on the new
the
channel.
boys are back in town.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
The boys are back. Wait, are you doing the Dropkick Murphy?
No, I
He
wasn't.
doesn't even know what that is.
I know what Dropkick Murphys are. I know the band.
They're a
Yeah,
band,
they have a song. The boys are back. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them in concert. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, Mohegan Sun.
Nice.
It's a casino.
I've
pretty-
always been a
pretty
fan
hip.
of the Dubliners, though myself.
Oh, see, I went and saw a band. I don't know if you know them. They're called the Pogues. They're the
Of course.
some of the old.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, I saw them at their reunion show in the early aughts, and it was
Nice.
phenomenal, dude. Those guys are
Yeah, dude.
unbelievably drunk.
I want American, the body of an American played at my funeral,
Oh,
just
dude.
like in The Wire.
That is
I was gonna
fantastic.
say, yeah.
Because in The Wire, whenever someone would die, one of the cops, they would put them on the pool table at the bar, and they would all sing "Body of American" by the Pogues.
Yeah. Yeah,
By the
dude,
way, The Wire,
I'm telling you, they are
amazing.
fantastic band. I mean, some of his writing is some of the best. Like Shane McGowan is his name, but his band was the Pogues. But then he went on to be Shane McGowan and the Popes when I think he started doing heroin. The guy has like 2 teeth left. He has like 2 teeth,
Man, were we supposed to talk about like eclipses or something? Like,
what? It hasn't happened
Yeah.
yet. What are we going to talk about?
well,
You know what? I really don't
Scott
care
brought
what we
up the
talk
X
about.
over America and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care right now. I'm just glad I'm here.
It's just a fucking stream. He survived.
Yeah,
I often
I'm-
wonder what the flat earthers would say about the solar eclipse, because they think that,
Ooh.
they think that the sun and the moon are like
Lights.
spinning on discs or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't
500
understand
miles
about
in the sky.
There's a lot of things I don't understand about flat earthers, but
Oh my
how
God,
does
yes.
that work? How does that work? I know it's a flat disc, and then there's a moon and a sun somehow
Yeah.
on a flat object.
Antarctica's
You
an
don't.
ice wall.
Yeah,
Well,
well, that would be dope. Not
so
just
there's
Antarctica, the whole
firmament.
thing.
I
Please,
always go
go
down
on.
this rabbit hole of I always go down this rabbit hole with flat earthers, and they never respond to me whenever I ask. Because one of the first things I ask is, okay, you keep talking about how the military won't let anyone down to Antarctica or whatever, right?
Not true.
It's because of the ice wall. Well, one, yeah, they can. Oh yeah, but only the places they let you. Okay, well go. Have you tried
Okay.
going west, east?
But not even
Yeah.
if you're on Antarctica, dude. I think you would see like a 500-700 foot ice wall. You
Well,
know, you
they're
can
making
see
it
the
sound
wall
like it's
from a-
Game of Thrones kind of shit, man. And
not
it's-
even that.
It's not.
Just go to California, rent a boat, head west, and eventually you're either going to hit a
You're
wall.
gonna hit an ice wall, or
You're
won't,
gonna feel
and
the
you'll
other
hit
side.
land.
Yeah.
Let me just I just have to bad takes real quick. I've been having major problems with my computer, and you weren't here to help, just like every woman. Okay, back to the show.
Have you ever seen the
Back-
map?
Yeah, can we bring
map
that up?
Of,
It's the United Nations map.
No, not that one. The map that they claim shows everything beyond the wall. I don't know how they would know this. And there's all the different names for the things.
Wait a minute. No. Please show me that.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah, that's interesting. Bring that up, Matt. You got this, buddy. It's interesting. Yes, these are nice things. Aren't you a flat earther?
Who?
You.
So you haven't been listening to anything we've been saying.
No, he's
Oh, you've been
just
talking?
watching his numbers go up, beating off or something. Yeah, no. Flat earthers are the one, like, dude, you know me. I do shows about conspiracies, about alternate histories, about all this stuff. And it just, that's the one group I can't even just like pretend to support.
Right.
Like I feel bad for them because like the major people in that like sphere of influence are all just money. They're all doing it for money. They backstab each other. You know, like it's a lot like YouTube. What is
Do you
that
remember
map?
Poe?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for it now. There's so many different fake maps.
The original guy, the artist / flat earther / like the original guy who really pushed this in
Mark
like
Stewart.
the early
Mark Shepard.
2000s.
Yeah, Mark Stewart and Mark Shepard, I think his name is.
Yeah, that dude.
Well, one of their big arguments was, how come you never see the the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time? And solar eclipses would completely contradict that whole thing.
Right. And
Yeah,
if
but
they're
apart from the times that you do see them, when else do you see them?
I see it all the time.
Small time republic, dude. The flat earthers don't like the term sphere of influence.
Hashtag real Earth has curves.
Did you ever see that tweet from the Flat Earth Society or whatever? They're like, we have flat earthers around the globe. Say that.
Yes. I just love what I love about flat earthers too is they'll do these experiments like I'm going to show you there's no curvature of the earth, and like they go up in like a hot air balloon and it legit just proves that there's a curvature, and they'll like try to like talk their way out of it, but it's like, dude, you just like the science is telling you, like, believe the science. Oh, you must be one of those people.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like that meme where the guy's riding the bicycle and he sticks a crowbar in the wheel. Same thing.
So do me a favor, because I can't. I'm on a very
somebody
small,
else already got it. I just found it.
What is that sphere? What am I seeing?
This is the ice wall. That's
So the
what
ice
we
wall.
know.
What's past the ice wall?
Well, you have Isis, which is a bit further out there. Osiris. You have Nemo. No wonder no one can find him.
Right, he's got one fin.
You have Odin. Yeah, where are we at the walls of Asgard?
Yeah, so this is the big mountain range here, and then past that is the other part, and then we just have, I don't know, scorched wasteland, frozen waters, and an abyssal ocean. Oh yeah, there's Asgard over there. It's where Odin lives.
That gives screams of somebody that was tired of trying to come up with new names for these islands and shit.
just blank. Zero. These people, like, that's it. Okay, I've never seen this map. I've seen the inner map with the ice wall that like lines up with the UN. They've been flaunting it in our face, us globers.
Here, share mine because I'm zooming in and shit.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
So this is
also Australia is now the largest continent, so take that. Look how wide we are.
Weird.
Yeah, look at Australia. Wait a minute, North America. Where's South America?
Right next to North America.
They're bigger. It's clearly bigger.
Okay, that's South America, and above it is North America. The Arctic Circle is actually the Arctic Circle.
No, that's the Antarctic Circle. That's the south part.
This is the ice
Arctic
wall.
Circle is a little bit right in the middle. Right.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Enhance.
Asia can kiss our asses. We're way bigger.
So yeah, outside of the ice wall, I guess there's only a couple of entrances. You have Sleepado or Tortorokoroku.
Nailed it.
Yep. Okay. Sounds perfect.
Military.
That's a good question, Biggles. If the world is flat, explain Sydney Sweeney's tits. Is she American? Because that would be a national treasure.
Alteron, Germania. Oh, these fucking Germans.
Wait a minute, Germania survived? They just moved on the other side of the wall?
They moved on the other side of the wall and they quadrupled in size.
Did the Nazis slip through those little cracks and that's where they found like...
Well, yeah, they had that secret base in Antarctica, remember?
So, yeah, but if it's in Antarctica, it would actually be in that second circle we're talking, right?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's the
so they went through the hole.
right?
Well, we've heard in Antarctica there's a hole to the inner Earth, but maybe it's just this next ring.
That's what the inner Earth is.
I got you now. I mean, Halley's of Halley's Comet, fame. He believed in the flat Earth. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in a hollow Earth. I think hollow Earth is not in like there's a advanced society down there, but you never know. I believe that there are massive caverns that life can exist in down there. I mean, there's water, there's oxygen. There's definitely life can be created within the Earth.
I believe that too, and I mean, there's also like a history of like ancient peoples talking about caves that led to different parts of the Earth. So.
I'm sure Earth would be more like a dodecahedron before it would be hollow.
Yeah, you tell them.
Thank
What's
you.
That?
Scientists did discover massive freshwater oceans beneath the saltwater ocean.
I was about to bring that up too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was that or from Meg. I couldn't remember. I was like, wait, is that real?
That was from Meg. That was the underground firmament.
Oh.
Which is the one that they're now saying is actually the one from the Bible.
What? Okay. All I can say is this: there are in a planet this size, there is. It's very hard for me to believe, and scientists also agree that it is solid. And we don't know exactly how our cores consist. Like, we have a great idea of what it is, but no one's actually been able to verify it. It's a great hypothesis. hypothesis. But to say that maybe a couple miles below there isn't lakes with some type of life and fish.
Bioluminescent plants, things like that. Yeah.
Things like that is creating
It's I can't even be mad because it's so absurd.
That is not absurd. I'm not saying there's freaking worlds in there. I'm just saying that it's
Dinosaurs.
awesome. Yeah, maybe people that'll
Nessie.
show me the.
And, it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Hail, brother.
That's right. I hear
That
this
was
she's
for
there.
you. That was for you, my friend.
So I tend to side with Sitchin on his interpretation of the firmament being the asteroid belt, because he translated it from the original Sumerian as hammered out bracelet. And then, of course, the famous Sumerian seal.
Yeah, but the problem with him, man, is he got a lot of the translations maybe wrong. There's been a lot of people that, because he was one of the first. He is one of the first, right? To translate that. But, like the idea of certain names he got wrong. Like Enki, or, the names or titles that they were, like the king, even the name of the planet, like it wasn't actually a planet. I could actually break it down, but I can't get on my computer because I had the info, because it broke my heart when I heard it. Now I have to verify that this is definitely, the translations he got were a bit wrong, but it is kind of interesting when you,
I said you would know.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd be interested in exploring that information with you at some point. But
Yeah,
I do think he got more right than he got wrong, and some of it's like he's filling it in with his own religious beliefs.
Who are we talking
and
about?
Zechariah Sitchin, he wrote the 12th Planet, and he was one of those pioneers of ancient astronauts, along with like Eric von Däniken and people like that.
It's hard for me to believe a guy named Zechariah, because it instantly makes me think of corn, which makes me think of the children of corn.
Children of the Corn. Yeah, dude. Terrifying.
I think it was a biblical name.
They want you too, Malachi.
But by the way, so these people literally say this. I just wanted to point this out so I can take this down.
Yeah, please do.
Like, they're talking about the flat Earth because what if I told you this is actually a true map of where you really live? Would you believe it? Absolutely not. Look closely before you dismiss it. Oh, is it a video? Oh, it's a video.
Please play it. Please play it.
Turn the fucking music down. Okay, I'll turn the music up. What if I full screen it? Does that make it bigger for you guys?
Yeah, a little bit. But did you turn the music
that's
up?
what full screen does.
I like bigger.
The music's garbage, anyways.
Okay, there's no talking. I can't read it. Tell me what they're saying.
No
Someone
talking.
narrate.
No one's
Someone
saying
narrate.
anything. Okay, so they're showing different islands like the Corvaria and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
The
Nailed
Pinta, the Nina,
Santa Maria.
So
Yep.
if those islands are as green as it says it, that's got to be like the most greenest place on the entire planet, because those islands would be fucking huge based on the size of the circle.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see.
And I mean, how do they explain an ice wall, like a frozen center, and then all of
so
those?
what happened? Brand the builder, when he built it, he put his thing on down that stops it from.
It's actually made out of. It's constructed out of cognitive dissonance.
No, but who does know the story? Does anybody know exactly what they believe? Because I just stopped at flat.
No, this is what they believe. I mean, they damn it. This thing goes on for 3 fucking minutes.
I heard you had to drink some Kool-Aid before you really understood it.
The Sky the Sky Caverns. Okay. This is some of the this is some of the Amazonia.
I mean, like, how did they get all this information? Where does all this information come from? Where is all this secret knowledge about
That's
it?
what I
I've never
want to
heard of
know.
this.
I've always asked. They
like-
will not respond to me.
Who created that map?
Right.
Could someone Google that right now? The creation. What was the name of that map? Does it have a name?
Yeah, flat Earth.
I'm looking.
Yeah, someone look.
No, so what's weird, I don't understand what the end goal would be for all of these governments to work together to keep us from learning the truth that we live on a flat Earth for two benefits.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What is she talking about here? Hold on. I want to read Bride of Slender. This whole thing, actually, let me drop this so I can hopefully not drop out. This whole thing is built off of the descendants of a military man who published his science fiction novel. The
Alexander
one that
Gleason?
supposedly came down during the flood, therefore it no longer exists. What, the wall?
No, I think she's talking about the firmament.
Firmament.
Yeah, firmament.
Firmament.
Yeah.
You know the thing that stops rockets from going outside of space because it's a giant glass dome?
Right. It's glass, correct?
Yes.
No,
Breaking news, author Stephen Walton is gay. Thank you, Subhuman84.
Hey.
So many things. Like, why are the other planets round? And this one flat? That's weird.
That's the
Are
thing.
they?
It's
They're
not. We're
discs.
we're only seeing the planets from one thing. It's actually the clouds that are moving. It's not actually rotating. It's just the cloud structure that makes it look like it's rotating.
That's right. That's how come when you go up to the Sears Tower, you can see all the way to fucking London from there, right?
Yeah. Well, let me ask
Yeah.
you a question then. How does how the lamps move? The moon and the sun, do those rotate?
Hydraulics.
But do they rotate? We need to
Yes.
find some information, people.
Dude,
we
I
need to
don't- hold on.
understand flat Earth. We got 56
in
people
18
watching right now. Real quick. Thank you, everybody. Please make sure you like, share, comment. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you think about flat Earth. I'm sorry that we have all this stuff about Mac series and the eclipse at the moment, but we're discussing flat Earth. Please make sure you guys subscribe to everybody on the panel, mostly Mortal Coil, trying to get him to 600. That'd be great.
Actually, that's his brother, Immortal.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Immortal. You piece of shit. What is this? Let's move on. Let's move on.
So apparently this is an 1893 Orlando Ferguson, a real estate developer based in South Dakota, drew a map of the Earth combined with biblical and scientific knowledge in a unique way.
Hold on.
I've seen this before. I
Stop
have.
right there. You say scientific knowledge.
Well,
Yes.
biblical and scientific. Yes. Yeah, because
So
those go
the
together.
scientific part was he used a ruler, so therefore it's now science.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Sometimes a protractor.
Well,
Yep.
look, the idea that science may one day prove that God exists, I kind of actually can believe that can happen. The idea that people think they're atheists because, the Big Bang happened and that's science. But like when you ask them what happened before that and they're like nothing. So you believe nothing started the Big Bang. Okay.
Pretty
and then what
magical
happens?
nothing.
But what happens to you when you die? You go back to nothing. So that's kind of religion right there. You believe God created everything
Right.
and then you go back to him.
I think the majority of people who are quote unquote atheists are really just agnostic.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I think so,
agnostic
too.
for years. I was, I went through, I was raised Protestant, and then I kind of was like, yeah, I can't say there isn't a God, and I don't want to because if I die, I totally want him to let me in.
Oh, that's
but-
why you picked Christian, because you can just ask for forgiveness at the end.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
bro. You
Yeah,
don't
you
have to
gotta
do it at
mean
the
it.
end.
You gotta
do
mean
it
it.
you do it one time, you golden.
Not one time.
Yeah,
No.
one
What
time.
makes it
No.
you mean it more than fear of going to a burning hell?
So-
I think I would
Well, that's
believe
why-
it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, we don't
Hell's
believe
not
in
even
hell.
in the
you know?
Bible. Yeah, the my Jewish friend here doesn't believe in hell.
So I'm actually a universalist. I lean towards universalism rather than traditionalism or consequentialism because of kind of what you said. It's always it's almost as if God is holding this cosmic gun to our head, saying,
Right.
"If you don't love me, you're gonna fucking die forever."
Not even,
Right.
not even that.
You
He did was he said, I'm going to create you and give you free will. And if you don't use that free will to love me back, you're fucking done.
Right?
No, see, this,
I believe-
I think it's better than that. I think it's like a real big cosmic joke. He's just like, I'm gonna give you a list of things that you can't have, but I'm gonna make them the most delicious things that you can ever eat, just to see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
He's got a bet. He's got a bet going on with another cosmic being going. I bet you they'll follow me still. And the bloke's
So
like, I don't think so. You haven't tasted bacon.
So have you ever heard the you ever heard the flat tire thought experiment? It basically missionaries are some third world country going and they're traveling to a village that's never heard about Jesus, never heard about God, but they got a flat tire, so they had to stop and change it. While all this was going on, somebody in the village died. They go to hell because of a flat tire.
Well, yeah, that's why those are things in Christianity I don't believe. Like a child born that's not baptized goes to hell. Like a man made that up.
Well,
like there's the Pope
age
is a
of
man.
accountability. You have that. Well, you're not Catholicism. I'm mostly speaking of Protestants, but
hey,
you have the age of accountability, which most say like 13, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's
a
confirmation.
13-year-old
atheist.
A 13 atheist is like, dies in a car wreck with his parents. They were hit by a drunk driver, or whatever. That's it. He had a year.
Well,
6 months, and now
6
for
months
eternity.
This is the thing, and Walton calls me his Christian friend, and I don't know if I'm truly Christian. I believe in the teachings of Jesus, what he spoke, what is written down that he spoke of.
You're a spiritual Christian.
Yeah,
but
I
can you
believe
trust
that
the government to have dictated correctly?
I'd like to see the Q source.
Well, I also believe that there is a greater power than myself.
I'm
out there
right
in
here.
the universe. Yeah, blasphemy. But I don't believe that there have been men, let's just say since Jesus died, at least, so I don't get burned. Like the Pope, that is the definition of an antichrist. The idea that you're speaking for God just because you said so. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect my friend Tina and others who are, or not Tina, Miss Martin Muses, because I believe in the again, the tenets and the belief of Christianity. What the idea of the meek shall inherit the earth. The idea that suffering.
Yeah, but do you know what that means when they say the word meek? How it's been bastardized and changed over the years. It's not those who are weak; it's those who have swords and shields but choose not to use them.
Yes, that's I totally.
By the way, not for nothing. Jesus said he spoke for God as well. But
I said since him, since him.
Okay,
I mean,
that was good. Yeah, but by the way, I just wanted to finish up real quick. All I'm saying about the whole universalism or whatever is that you have to imagine God has a better plan than you either devote your life to me after the age of 13 before you die, or you will burn in hell forever. What the? There has to be a better plan. I wouldn't even be comfortable in that heaven where everyone I love that didn't say the right things or do the right thing, are burning.
You better play the harp and never masturbate again for all eternity.
Well,
okay?
This is the thing. This is the thing, Matt. There is another religion that doesn't really involve hell. I could introduce you to some nice people.
I can barely. I can't speak Spanish. You think I'm gonna learn fucking Hebrew?
Let's.
I mean, one of the people that I turn to a lot for these types of topics is actually Coil. Like, what do you think of the hell experience, man?
Well, immortal or mortal? Which one?
That guy.
Immortal. Yeah, immortal. Not his brother. Come on.
Well, I have a different perspective because I've lived my own experience and have had direct experience of the source and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me that a God would create a universe, place imperfect beings in it, demand perfection of the beings upon pain of death and punishment, and then somehow send a perfect being down in order to save them from a condition that God created himself.
I thought,
doesn't make sense.
It does, because that was the mistake. The original
God made a
sin.
mistake.
Yeah.
If you can look at
me
it,
out, maybe
it's
maybe
not
he
like a
wasn't the son of God.
Well, hold on, real quick, because it's almost like the Old Testament is drunk dad, and the New Testament, Jesus had to come in and calm down drunk
absolutely.
Dad's a little crazy. He's like the cool college,
It's almost like there should be a third being, Hey, mate.
Well, in the-
I love the Old Testament God. All right, he told a dude. He said, "If you don't burn your son alive and mutilate your penis, you don't love me." The Old Testament God is killer. Dude.
He also sent bears after
How
some
does he
kids for
have
making
10,000
fun of a
subs?
bald guy.
Well, but the problem is we're looking at books that are translations of translations.
Absolutely.
So when we're looking at
Absolutely.
particularly Old Testament, when it says Lord, it's talking about Elohim, and when it's
Yeah,
saying
Elohim. Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and
Versus Yahweh and
There's also
versus
lowercase
Yahweh.
g's. There's
Yes.
lowercase g's.
So that's
you
my
know?
next point is a lot of
Yeah.
these books are condensations of older texts that
Well-
got number one orally transmitted for centuries before they were
Yeah.
actually ever written down, but then number two retranslated and then filtered through like
A lot of
the-
Sumerian things, huh?
Well,
yeah, some of those. So
Yeah.
particularly the Genesis story, you had Enlil and Enki being combined into one being when historically they were shown as
So-
being in contest with each other.
The,
You know
the
what I mean?
reason why there's two stories, if you look at Genesis, right, you're going to see like, wait a minute, I thought I guess read this, right, and it happens a lot through the Old Testament. What happened is you had separate tribes coming together that had similar stories, right, about the creation and all of that, and rather than
Right.
picking one or the other, they put both in. So
Yeah, that's really crazy.
right
Mhm.
now, real quick, Immortal Cole,
Yeah.
have you ever
Yeah.
heard of a guy named Joel M. Hoffman? He is a expert on ancient Hebrew and stuff. He has some amazing books about the translations and what went wrong and all this. Just really, really good. Check out it. You need to check him out. Joel.
Yeah,
sounds good. Sounds
His
good.
big one that he did was called "The Bible Doesn't Say That."
Yep. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
one.
that's dope. I got to check that out. Like what I always thought is if there was a God, he keeps sending these different religions and men fuck it up. Like
Well,
you
yeah.
can't tell me someone who's a Buddhist is in the wrong. Those people, like someone who's trying to obtain a higher level of spirituality where they accept, that the material world isn't what it, isn't the end point. Like the idea that the body is full of electricity, pretty much. The soul is what
electrolytes.
moves. Yeah, electro.
Yeah, well, I mean, the moment you bring
Electrolytes
ego,
makes things grow, right?
the moment you bring ego into it, yeah, I mean, men,
Oh.
people mess up religion or any like innate knowledge that we have, a connection to source.
The Marvel
Yeah,
character.
Fuck up
spirituality.
everything.
And they do it. Rip.
No, go ahead, please.
Okay. They do it for, they do it for one or two reasons. Either they are trying to enforce their outlook through ego, in their interpretation, or they're doing it for control. And I would rather have somebody just give me an interpretation than using a belief system to maintain control over a populace.
I wanted to circle back real quick to the to how
It
the
is
Old
distorting.
Testament
Okay.
God was kind of a dick. If you ever look into the
I don't know what's going on with your mic, Scotty, but nothing's coming through. It's just like static.
It fell
Sounds
from
like gas.
it fell from nut adjacent actually into his pants. So we're
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look into the
Sounds better.
Yeah.
Gnosis- so the Gnosticism, right? Basically what you had this source, right? The thing, and it made another copy of it called an eon, and these eons would group together, and there would be a male and a female, and they would make new ones, right? Well, this one dumb chick, I forgot what they called this eon, was like, I'm just gonna go make my own, and then made this dumb off like horrible mistake of another eon, and so she sent him away. And that's the Old Testament God. He makes the earth, he does this, and but he's a complete dick. And so the eons get together like, well, great, we got to do something. So they send an eon in the form of a human, Jesus, to calm down drunk dad and to spread the message of what we really are.
That might be perfect. That might
all
be
right.
perfect.
We'll check this out. So the Old Testament is essentially the records of the tribes of Israel and
Right.
how the descendants lead up to supposedly Jesus of Nazareth. The Hebrews themselves were enslaved multiple times by different cultures, and this is kind of somebody was echoing this tenet earlier. But if you're enslaved by the Hittites and the Babylonians and all of those guys, the Egyptians, you see where instances of the edges of their religion kind of went into what the Hebrews ultimately believed in.
Right.
I mean,
So-
go back to Sumer. Go back to Sumer.
There you go.
You know,
So
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're absolutely right. Like Sumer, a lot of their stories are just kind of changed in the Old Testament. Once again, I don't know if any of us have nailed it. All I know is that the Big Bang happened, and no one can tell me that there isn't a God that did that. It could have been science. It could have been a freaking
It's
giant
source.
farting. You know,
well, it
could
is,
be,
yeah.
but it's the source.
Yeah, the time and space and all that kind of stuff, they're implementations of the illusion so that source has a means of considering itself. That's been my experience of it.
So the Earth is flat?
No, the Earth is no.
It's kind of globish. Well, like let's
It's a
put it this way.
potato.
Has
Yeah.
anybody had any spiritual moments, like not even like a spiritual awakening, but like ghosts, demonic presence, anything like
Yeah.
that? Like I have
All
definitely, yeah, dude, I have definitely seen like, you know, it's like a remnants or like a tape recorder of like the Civil War at Gettysburg, like watching these guys walking next to their commander on a horseback. Like I almost zipped my dick up into like I just freaked out. I was like 13 taking a piss, and it
You gotta
scared the
check
shit
out
out of me.
You got to check out Steven's 7-hour live stream.
Yeah, we were talking with this Beth. She's a medium, and she works with a paranormal group on this channel called Through the Veil. And she she's in North Carolina. She has her backyard is connected to an old Civil War battlefield. And she was telling us about the guy that used to collect the body parts. He's come through with like a wheelbarrow, and so she sees this ghost coming through and just picking up, astral body parts and throwing them in.
So is the wheelbarrow a ghost too?
Yeah, the whole thing.
It's part of the
buddy.
manifestation. Yeah,
it's part of the manifestation.
But-
She was also showing us a mirror that she had in her house. It had some kind of entities in it.
It had faces in it, and it's not like fake at all, dude. It's very compelling. You have to watch it.
If a medium on the internet said it's real, I have to believe it 100% then.
Hey, the video's up there, bud. You can go and see it.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, Grant, but like I've had experiences myself. I've been on paranormal investigations. I've seen ghosts. I live in a house with a bunch of them. And I know, like, I can tell the difference between someone who's just bullshitting and someone who knows their stuff. And the evidence that she presented, it looked pretty believable to me.
Real quick, I got to get going.
Really?
Yeah,
I got to get going. Adam's over there by himself, so I don't want to leave him hanging since you guys I would love to keep going on this conversation. Mortal Coil, I'd love to get together and talk about this more, man. Again,
This is the first stream ever that Mad's been on talking about religion, and he hasn't brought up Constantine yet. I mean, it's amazing.
It is. Thank you.
He had a bigger
Council of
impact
Nicaea. That's a big fucking thing too. A big fucking turd in the punch bowl.
What do you think about Constantine?
He had a bigger impact than Paul. No, not what?
Yep.
Oh
No.
I thought you were going there.
All right,
Yeah,
I gotta
way
go,
bigger
Scotty.
than Paul.
Are you right to finish
Later,
the stream
guys.
Right,
Yeah,
bye,
I'm
guys.
good. I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant. Thanks, Mad.
Later, man.
Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. Always good looking. So
What a great team.
No, it's a great group of guys, and we have 64 people watching right now. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you hit like, and when the stream's over, guys, if at least on YouTube, come back and comment, because it really helps the algorithm pick it up. And we've been gaining subs. March was the best month I've had, I think, on YouTube. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, man, after 2 years of falling backwards, it's nice to go forward. So back to what we were talking about. Like, I think I kept getting interrupted when I was trying to explain it, but I understand the idea of God doesn't make mistakes. But the idea that he created beings that are allowed to is the reason that it almost proves that he is real. Like the idea that Adam made the mistake because of a woman and got kicked out, and Jesus came back for that original sin and to wash away the sins of man. That just proves to me that, like, even if, let's just say, it's hard for me not to say he's God, but let's just say Jesus wasn't God. He's a prophet. He did something that changed the world, and then it was hijacked by Constantine and then popes thereafter, man. and it's
So-
been warped ever since, no matter what language it was put into.
Yeah. So I agree with about 80% of what you said. I just would have a few little tweaks to explain my position. Is number one, there is a source, there is a prime creator of the universe, there is a God, right? I firmly believe that. I don't think he's a guy in a beard on a throne watching you masturbate, but I think it's more of like an energy. That's why I call it source or prime creator. But I also believe that upon ancient Earth, there were quote unquote heavenly beings who came down and played God, and this is God with a little g. Yeah.
Yes,
so
little G. Yep.
yeah.
And that's
so
what like the Bible is at the beginning of the Bible. I'm sorry.
yeah, and if you read it and you're open to that kind of stuff, you can see where those things were happening. It says straight up, like the sons of the gods saw that the daughters of man were beautiful. Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's also that instance in the Tower of Babel where they're like, let us go down and confound their language so that they cannot understand each other, right? And then you have instances like Jacob's ladder where they're going up and down that fiery chariot kind of thing, the cigar-shaped craft that's following the tribes to the desert, all that kind of stuff. So there was and then like even
the star for Bethlehem. I mean, there's many things that could have been.
Yeah. So you had that, and then at some point, you had an instance where, and even the Bible will say this, the gods were fighting amongst each other. So Yahweh was the particular patriarch of the Hebrews, but then like he had a charge against Baal, he had a charge against Nanar Sen, and he's ordering his tribes to go in and like fuck these people up.
Annihilate them.
Exactly.
Giving them nuclear weapon.
Erase their seed from the, and then, so Sodom and Gomorrah, you had two strange looking heavenly beings that everyone obviously knew were not from Earth.
Right.
And they're like, look, Lot, you seem all right, but everybody else is fucked. So you guys get out of here. And then, what's his name? Lot's wife tarries and she's vaporized. It's always translated as salt, but the same word also translates to vapor. And it's just one of those coinky dinks that it just got handed down. Now, you get to the point where the texts are being recalled by the Greeks, and the Greeks are like, listen, all the stuff that we know, that we value, that we're developing as far as Western civilization goes, we learned that from the Chaldeans. They were doing that shit thousands of years ago.
Yes.
Now you want to talk about Constantine. I think that that's a very interesting point in time that people need to think about, because this is a man who, through the Council of Nicaea, essentially decided what biblical canon would be. And books that were part of biblical canon for thousands of years were kicked aside because Constantine didn't like it. And it's not like, and it's not like, hey, everybody gets a vote. He's like, no, if you don't do it this way, we're going to fucking kill you. Right.
Now, the first Council of Nicaea was Constantine.
It might have been the second one.
I'm trying to remember who was there.
It was the one in 900 AD. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. The idea that they took out some gospels that were like Timothy and Judas and Mary
and Enoch.
Enoch. To me, them taking Enoch out, is one of the biggest blasphemies of the religion, because God, and I agree, Awesome One put it right here, and I do agree with you. For God so loved the world, he sent his son. And I'm not saying Jesus was an alien. I'm not saying there was a hybrid program. But I do believe there is a being that was so much more powerful than us, that it is God. It was able to give life. He is able to do what we cannot.
So from my perspective on that is, because I believe in reincarnation. So I look at us going through our lives as learning lessons. I think that we choose where we incarnate to learn lessons, to evolve our souls. And there are people who have this Christ consciousness, and Jesus of Nazareth, one of those people. And there's also stories of other quote unquote solar messiahs that came before him that have a very, very eerily similar story to Jesus. And I think that that doesn't,
Mithras.
Yeah, Hail
Apollonius
Hathor.
of Tyre,
And so, I think that these beings are more connected, more enlightened to source, to God than most. And those beings would guide people. They would be a light. They would try and help others, educate others, bring them closer to God. So I think that, like, when I look at Jesus of Nazareth, I'm looking at a history of beings who have incarnated for the purpose of bringing love or bringing understanding and helping to get us closer to God. I don't necessarily look at it so much as the religious text, the context of it, but the texts themselves do have a lot in common with former iterations.
Well, I also want to put out this idea. Whoever Jesus may have been, whether he was one man or a composite of many, at the time that he was active in preaching, the stuff that the Council of Nicaea kicked out of the Bible would have still been canon. So he would have been
like Enoch, like the book of Enoch.
Yeah, he would have been familiar with Enoch. He would have been familiar with all that. And there's even that. So you mentioned the book of Judas, where essentially Jesus was like, "Listen, I need you to do me a favor," kind of
right.
thing.
Judas, right? That was his boy. According to the Gnostic text. Yeah,
and they're going to hate you for it, but I need you to do this because
Yes.
Jesus would have been seen.
Job.
Yep, he would have been. He would have been seen by the Roman state as a terrorist, and he was basically executed as a criminal.
Yeah, but it was also the leaders of the Jewish temples that were losing their students to this rabbi preacher. The idea that he was like, look, this is going to happen. And to the point where Judas loved him so much that he killed himself over it. He could not live with knowing that he did that. And everybody, doubting Thomas, the crow, the idea that you know what I'm saying, like Peter, Paul, all of them kind of blew him off. But anything that made him look like a man, they didn't, like a man with like a man's needs. Anything that made him too spiritually powerful, like the idea that they wanted him to walk this line of man and God. That's what bothers me about not adding these amazing readings. And if you've never read the agnostic gospels, they're freaking, they're amazing. Like the Mary,
Yeah, it's a wonderful insight into, and I think it brings more realism to the story and doesn't take away from the spiritual aspect at all. It enhances it, in my opinion.
Right. And I'm trying to remember if any of them are older than 70 AD, like any of them that were closer to the death of Jesus than, is it Mark or is it John? I can't remember. One of them's very, like 30 to 40 years after that gospel was written.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember if any of those agnostic ones were earlier.
Well, and see, the thing is, having been executed as a terrorist enemy of the state of Rome, I don't think the Romans anticipated Christianity growing as such a spiritual force on the face of the planet. So instead of trying to oppose it, they decided to try to manage the message. Because Christ never said, "Thou shalt go to the hills of Rome and construct a Vatican and have a pope with a fish head and a pine cone staff."
No, he said the earth is my church.
Exactly.
The pine cone staff, dude. That goes back. That goes back to the Anunnaki. Like
there you go.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We'll have to do a show with just on the Anunnaki.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh,
you should come in. You should check out Savage Spirituality sometime. I know it's kind of late for you on the East Coast. It's like 2 a.m. East Coast time. But we we talk about that kind of thing. It's kind of like Art Bell, but it's kind of like a Jedi Council kind of show. But I also talk about my own like spiritual and non-human contacts, like from my own perspective. You know,
the Mortal Coil's a contactee, man.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Well, I haven't really gone around and like publicized it too much, except for this year. But yeah, since at least the age of 9, and that whole like, since multiple races too, dude. Since the age of 13, I've actually been part of a breeding program too. So I've laid with them, if you want to say it like that. But
his stroke goes to Alpha. His stroke goes to Alpha Centauri, Scott.
Oh my God, you heard it here first. There's about 70 people listening, and I'm not judging right now. I want to know more. I need to know more.
That's why I want people to come and check out the show. Cause I mean,
yes, please.
I don't mind answering like surface level questions, but like, I don't want to like overblow the wad here on your podcast. But that's also part of the difference in my understanding between earth religions and what the texts say versus what I've learned out there and from other contactees as well. You just have a different perspective of it all. And the idea that we were only visited after the atomic bombs went off. That's just a modern iteration. They've always been around, even like
300, 450,000 years, right?
Yeah, well, longer than that too. The human genome, from what I understand, is composed of at least 22 extraterrestrial races plus a native primate, and we're genetic royalty, essentially, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do believe there it's hard to understand. There's two major moments in human development where we jump evolution like a million years. And the idea that just happened, some people are like, it's mushrooms. I don't know if mushrooms would get us that far. So
no.
I do not
The Bible says it. The Bible says that the sons of the daughters of man were beautiful, and the gods went and took. Now that's metaphorical, and so is the whole like tree of knowledge and tree of life kind of thing. The Book of Enoch actually talks a lot more about that in detail. And then if you go back to its source text, the Book of Adapa and Atrahasis gives a flood account, but it also talks about how Adapa was taken up to heaven and given extended life by Anu and Ki, so but not, like, or excuse
Enoch?
me, they were given wisdom, but not life. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's 100, I think we're up to like 110 to 115 flood stories from around the world. And they're always like 8 people saved. You know what I mean? So like, I don't discount that at all. But the idea that we only made it this far, like after the idea of this breeding program and this change, or the change in our DNA, Zachariah Sitchin's idea of us being changed over. I don't know how much I believe of what happened, but I know that it couldn't have happened naturally. And it wasn't just mushrooms, dude.
Right.
So something had to intervene.
And that's the thing, is like Sitchin is very much overly focused on the Anunnaki, and they are a major component. They were like the last major tribe that was here, but there's other races that contributed. Like
Can you
the
give
whole.
me some names? Can you give me some names of?
Well, like Orion, Sirius B, the Lyra, the Andromeda, Alpha Draconis. The Greys were here recently. Yeah, just so
those.
Oh yeah,
they've been here for a while, right?
I'm actually going to. Yeah, so the Pleiadians, they're one of them. Actually, they're very karmically bound to the earth. But there are some of those races that look so human that they could walk amongst us and pass for us, and nobody would blink an eye. It's just all they'd have to do is throw on some clothes,
I've always wondered if the Nordics were Odin and his crew. You know what I mean? The idea that they were gods to the Germanic tribes and those Norse tribes. I always wondered that.
Yeah, the way that I understand it is that a lot of those things are the same common memory, where there's a pantheon and they just go and get local names. But there are instances where, like in Spain, like in the Basque country, they have a language that's unrelated to any other Earth tongue, which shows that it was seeded from something that's not of the common tongues. They have something like that in like I want to say like Finland or Norway, something else like that, where their language is also a linguistic, like there's no predecessor. And it's kind of like it's kind of like how in the fossil records they find like things that look kind of like ape-like, and then boom, there's Homo sapiens sapien. There's no predecessor. So that to me is evidence. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but like the idea that we beat out Neanderthal when they had like the same size brain as us,
Yeah.
but they were physically stronger, they were fast,
Yeah.
they were just
But
they
they
were
didn't
powerful.
breed fast enough. They
Yeah,
didn't
we
breed
out,
fast
Well,
enough as
we
well.
out fucked them, and then we also
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
fucked them as
Well,
well.
many
And
people, some people also think there was like an environmental change that killed them off, and we were able to survive it. But I also think that they were bringing us close to, there's stories that they were bringing us close to extinction, and it was an intervention of something that caused them to slow down because they were banging our ladies too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
People
We're
have
trading them, yeah.
Neanderthal. You look like a Neanderthal, Walton, so you must have that DNA.
Oh, 4.3, baby. I'm a mutant.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
time
you are. But look
traveling
at that forehead.
Homo
Look at that
habilis.
forehead.
Yeah. Look at that.
I just want to answer something real quick, and then I want to go
Yeah.
back to what we're talking about. But I
ahead.
agree that the Romans didn't care as much as the temple priests did or rabbis did about Jesus. They turned him in. The Romans just thought he was another John the Baptist, another
Right.
a rebel rouser. It was really the temple priests that were
Well-
losing students to him that killed him.
Again, yeah, and again, there you have like, the introduction of like spiritual narcissism with, taking control of a religion, hijacking it to create money and power. And they saw a more pure spirit who was actually connected to source, a son of God, who was drawing these crowds in because of the enlightenment that he had, the abilities that he had because of who he was. And they're going to persecute that. That's competition.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, what I mean? What would Joe Osteen do? That's
no. I mean,
it's a shame, and it's a shame when we have people that usually fight against the grain. Yeah, the way they twist it, and when you have people who are enlightened or have a very high philosophy, high energy, just have like an ethereal connection to the divine, and how they are usually pushed out. They are the ones who are put on crosses or burned at the stake or, or persecuted and smeared throughout history so that knowledge is hidden from us.
And those people are still among us today that are trying to control the narrative. They are, we like to call them the deep state, the Illuminati. They are on the side of evil. And to tell me there's not demonic beings, alien or spiritual, there are.
Right.
Absolutely, there are.
Well, they promote one type of religion and practice a completely different type of religion. And it's very similar, but the intentions are inverse. Yeah.
And it's all built on illusion, and it's built on hurting others and taking things from others and keeping people clouded, and separated. Right. So their power by nature is low resonance. And to anyone out there who gives into their ego or their fears, or, they're not allowing themselves to evolve to a higher state of being or understanding consciousness, then that's going to attract those types. But it's up to we, and I don't care what path you follow, I don't care what religion you subscribe to, how you connect to source. The important thing is that you connect to God and that you are a representative of God on this earth, which is love, understanding one another, working with one another, seeking truth, helping each other. Yeah, man. Blessed be.
Yeah. Yep. So the idea, I want everybody to check out your streams. I am really sorry that I did not know you were a contactee. And this is where like my spiritual side, my rational side, and my freaking conspiracy, ancient history side, like fight each other. Cause like the moment you said it, I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And then I thought of people like, not David Wilcock, but the guy he was kind of prepping, these guys who are in this special space programs, like,
I know what you
mean. Some of those people ruin it for people that have actually had contact. You know what I mean? And then these people are belittled and made fun of, and I can't stand that.
Well, that's kind of why I'm trying not to, like wear a suit and be all grandstanding and all that kind of stuff. That's why I call my show Savage Spirituality, because I'm explaining these things in like the vernacular that people talk in. Now I'm educated. I've been to college and all that, so I know some multisyllabic words, but like, I just spit it like it is, man. And there really hasn't been an occasion for you and I to talk very much at length about stuff like this, because it seems like we're
Right.
always running into each other in the chats or like on stream,
Yep.
or it's like someone else's show, or it's not the right topic or something like that. But
Right.
this is
Well,
kind of,
that's what Aluminum Spork is supposed to be about.
yes.
Aluminum Spork is a show about what they're trying to tell us cannot have been, or can't
Yeah.
be, or will not be. The idea that these people are trying to control all of the narratives. If someone believes that we are in a simulation, why do they try to, suppress those people? The idea that, they didn't kill the guy who made the water powered engine back in the 80s. Oh, really?
Right.
Like we need to be talking about these things, and the idea that people make fun of that is okay, because okay, laugh, but also listen. Yes, someone probably was like, contactee, what a fucking whack. But there are people that attract something out there that others can't connect to because they're not open-minded enough, I guess, or not born with the right genetics.
Well, and that's a huge topic. That's why I was really excited when you announced the premise of the show. And
Yeah.
whenever the topics of the week tend to drift towards the stuff that I was talking to you about, I'd be happy to be a panelist and give you this kind of perspective.
Yeah, I'll add you to the chat, man, or the DM.
That's cool,
because
brother.
This is the way I started with the topic of Quiet on Set, that docuseries, because it is about the peddling of children, these sickos, but it goes deeper than that. It's like these soul sucking succubus,
yes,
these
energy vampires.
The demonic presence in Hollywood, and people
Gold
that
juice.
are so, well, the idea that we've gotten away from spirituality, and social media has become people's ideology. The progressive movement is their ideology. Like
Ultimate
they're
false
worse than a
self.
cult at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, and at this time, right? So you have had, up until the advent of social media, you had them really had a lid. They had a lid on everything that they were doing for the longest time. These ceremonies,
right.
they've all, and I mean, going after children, that leads to lust and hedonism. So when you exist in like a very, very dark, demonic type of vibrational existence, you're about passing on pain, spreading pain. You're about damaging the next crop. And that's why they go after kids. That's why they use them, peddle them. That's why they do the things that they do. That they're basically sapping their energy, because children, before when you come up to a certain age, you are pure.
And physically.
Yes.
Right. You are pure. You are still connected very much to God. The world has not programmed you, aside from your parents and the things that they teach you and the values they instill, their outlook of the world. You're still very connected and open to your spirituality. It's as you get older, you lose that. And what they do with these kids is they distort them, destroy them, and basically they drain the energy, their life essence from them. This is it's one of many nefarious aspects that come from a culture that the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, that they exist. And it's also, as social media has come, they are liars. These are liars. They don't take accountability. These are psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists. So they are controlling the ebb and flow of information in order to create an illusion that is wrong, that everyone knows is wrong deep down, that creates this division, that keeps us separated, because wholeness, coming together, to me, God is unity, source is unity. We are all connected to one another. So they're trying to stop us from coming together as a world community from all different faiths. Because every single river leads to the ocean, brothers and sisters. If you're trying to find your higher place, if you're trying to be a pure, good representative of humanity, helping one another, raising one up, healing one another, helping each other, then that is a completely against the energy that that Hollywood, a lot of politicians, world governments, people at the top, people that own corporations and keep us living off of money and debt. This is their function.
Yeah, and I found something very curious when I was watching a debate on Tucker Carlson, not a debate, a discussion between Tucker Carlson and Brian Johnson, who's became like billionaire rich at least close, or if not more, in, you know, tech. And he, in his late 30s, early 40s, started to invest in trying to see if he can stop the death process. You know, and he's put in, I mean, it's all open source. Like he shares all his information, and you know, his lung capacity is that of an 18-year-old, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, one of the things he said that brought me back to some of the stuff that really was twisted about the elites around the world and in America, and maybe what that island with that was doing, you know, the island people flew to, we'll call it Ease Island. Well, this guy, his father, 72-year-old man, partner at a firm, was starting to, like, you know, lose a bit of his cognitive. He told his son, you know, like, look, I would type something up for, you know, court, and I'd walk away, and when I came back, it was jumbled words, and I don't even remember what I was trying to say. So he started giving his plasma to his father for 6 months, and his 17-year-old son was giving Brian his plasma for 6 months or so. His son is 17, he's 48, his dad was 72. Now, Brian says he didn't see a difference in him from his sons, but his father, like, people were literally going, what are you on? What are you doing? How are you so peak now in energy and this and that? And let's not forget, during the COVID lockdowns, people were like, oh, it's because they weren't wearing makeup. Some celebrities went from, wow, they never aged, to looking like they were 60.
Yeah.
And, you know, the idea that they weren't taking things.
Madonna.
Right. Exactly. You know, Hillary, Ellen, all these people, they all aged in 3 weeks because certain, I'm not saying it's adrenochrome or whatever, but it could be. But the idea that the taking of plasma from the youth taking the blood of the youth will keep you young is something people have been talking about with these elites for so long, and they've been making fun of them. And now we actually have proof that if you are wealthy enough, you can get plasma from younger people to try to keep yourself young. I mean, he said
it's the tip of the iceberg, Scott. That's
tip
scary.
Of the iceberg. It's terrifying.
Funny side note, I've been selling plasma for about 20 years. So whatever's in me has been going out into the community, and I hope whoever got it.
You and Oprah. Oprah.
You've also been donating sperm to space chicks, all right? So you're a galactic stud.
Yeah, can I just ask, did you
bang
them? Were you able to bang them, or
like they made special females for, you know, reproductive purposes. And it's because we are composed genomically of 22 extraterrestrial races plus the simian human. That means that we're compatible with them too. So especially in races who are requiring a boost, or they just want to augment their own genome, you know, I've been a volunteer in that process. Not the Greys, though. I don't fuck with the Greys ever.
No, hell with the Graces. They're crazy. And you know what? Listen, I don't care if you hook me up. Like, listen, all right, you hook me up at least once. I want to hit a space babe, and I don't want any of those vacuum things that they put on you. All right, I don't want to pump. I'd like one of the marionette things. All right.
So let me
please
offer
give us some, whatever. I want to hear it.
No, well, let me offer a tease to the audience first. Is that tonight's episode on the Savage Show, which is 11 p.m. West Coast time to 2 a.m. East Coast time. I'm going to talk about the time that I advocated for somebody to become a contactee and what ended up happening, because he specifically was interested in the Alpha Draconis, and that was a very fucked up trip. So tune in.
I don't want to bang any lizards.
That's terrifying. They're like the mean ones, right?
They're antagonistic towards human life forms. See, the way that I understand it is, freshly after the universe was created, intelligent life essentially was brought here from somewhere else. The first race that was brought was Alpha Draconis because the universe they came from was tired of their shit. So they
Mhm.
dumped them off in the Alpha Draconis star system. And then also there was a human race that was placed in the Lyran star system. And, things were okay for, 50, 60 million years. But once they figured out how to travel interstellarly, first contact was made, misunderstandings were happened,
Mhm.
and war ensued. And see, the reptile brain, specifically that race, they think that they own everything that they get to and that nobody's there. So, they knew that they were first. They think this universe was theirs. They meet another civilization and they're demanding and asking for resources and trade and this sort of thing. The humans say like, well, we'd like a little bit more information. And they were like, that's it. You're rude. You declared war. Fuck you. And,
Mhm.
yeah. So they were basically chased out of Lyra, and then they went and colonized other planets and became different, like the Pleiades, the Arcturus. Uh, there's a race in Sirius B, and they all have slightly different characteristics adapting to their local biomes. But yeah, the thing is, too, they found Earth first, so uh, you notice that there was a big explosion in reptile life.
Right.
They were master geneticists. They had a hand in changing around the grays. You hear a lot about gray-like races from Orion, and they
Mhm.
are sort of gray, but sort of lizard. It's because
Okay.
they like to leave their mark on things. It's a mark of ownership.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot to cover. So I'll be going into that if anybody in the audience cares to check us out in a couple hours. Walton's
Yeah.
my co-host. We've been doing the show pretty steadily for the past 6 months or so. I mean, minus a weekend here or there. But
So grab your playlist and just hit play all, because that will get you what you need.
pretty much.
So why don't we drop one of your long, if you have it in a playlist already, we could drop it in the chat. I don't know if we have 64 people, 65
Oh,
people
look.
watching, but on all different, I think we're even on Twitter. I just don't know because I just said screw it. I'm gonna click on that one tonight. So if you're on Twitter, thank you.
Yeah. I really ought to make a playlist of.
What was that?
Okay, I thought everybody went quiet. He just
No,
went quiet.
I was like, shit, is my computer shutting off again?
I was
I got
worried.
nervous.
Honestly, I screwed up.
That's me.
Okay.
I can't go and chase a link without like the audio
gonna
muting
look-
on this
I
side.
got
So
you. I got
yeah,
you.
if you
Well, go
could,
ahead.
if you can throw that in the chat there, Steven. But yeah, I talk about all this stuff in great detail. And like as far as like mating with ET females, I mean it's fairly similar to mating with Earth females. All the parts are similar. They have
Mhm.
female parts, but the thing that's different is their size and their energy. Because I mean it sounds kind of quaint. I'd like to believe that everything's like Star Trek and we're just like everybody's equal and all that kind of stuff. But alien energy feels completely different than human energy. And
Okay.
there's a part of your physiology that sometimes reacts to them depending on what type of species they are. So, for instance, the reason why snakes and like bug-eyed things look so creepy to us is, back in our mammal phase before we were even like primates, we were hunted by those things. So
Right.
there's a portion of our mammalian physiology that's just going to
Yes.
be reactive in that manner.
Just like the
So
fear of the dark. It has
yeah,
that inner, it's just been passed down in our DNA from millennia.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of times, like the stage has to be very carefully set before something like that happens, because there have been instances where I was caught off guard and I reacted violently,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel ashamed about it. But I mean, just purely reacting on an emotional thing when you don't understand what's going on and you just find yourself coming to in a scenario like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
must be terrifying.
yeah, and it's not like these females are unpleasant to look upon. They're, pretty in their own way, but it's also they're not human. So you have to get used to what they are, and then you realize what situation you're in and what's expected of you, and you're kind of like, okay, I guess I'll put myself into the mood. But I would say I've been with around like 28, 30 females in my time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
That
and I'll
is so crazy.
And I'll tell you this, man. My first encounter with an ET, at least along those lines, happened when I was 13, and I wasn't with a human female until I was 15. And I just thought about this like a couple weeks ago. I was like, shit, I guess I lost my V card to the stars,
universe,
man. Yeah,
to the
dude.
universe, bro.
So I mean, Steven ribs me. He's like, your cock's renowned throughout the universe. Yeah.
Well,
but
we got to have you back on when we're doing this stuff, and we'll talk more about it. I'm going to wrap this up, but I wanted
Sounds
to
good.
first talk about this, where it goes with the quiet on set. I think they dove into what Nickelodeon and the allowing of predators around kids. But look at Nickelodeon's symbol, and then look at Epstein Island. I know it's not an exact match, but if you actually, I would say if you rotated just the symbol itself, not the dot, which is an island over there, but if you rotated the symbol 180, it lines up better. But the idea that, or maybe like 90, I don't know, to the clockwise, but the idea that it's even close is terrifying to me. It's terrifying.
It's an open secret to them, and they're proud of it. You're talking about very vain, egotistical, lying, psychopathic, narcissistic types. All right, they love the fact that you don't know, and they're flashing it in your face. That's one of the things these Luciferians do. I mean, it's a part of the. I mean, that's why I call it psychopathic, narcissistic. It's a part of that like disorder, that personality disorder, is to flash that you're being betrayed or that something evil is happening, while lying to you, and then getting off on the fact that you don't know and that they're lying to you. Like this, that symbolism is very enriched for a reason. It's not just mythical. It's evil laughing in our faces as they abuse kids.
Yeah, man. It is the idea that anybody could do that to a child
it's disgusting. It's horrid.
Right. We don't live to
bring back
30,
dueling.
Right. Like our average age isn't 30 anymore when we die. Like we live way too long to take that innocence away from children. Teaching, even like I brought up here before, my daughter at 9 learning about people getting reassignment surgery at school. The idea that, like, what is the point of even telling her that? And I could tell the teacher, the way she explained it to me, the teacher didn't want to talk about it, because she was like, but that's none of you guys. You just need to know there are people out there that feel like they're not in the right body. Why aren't we teaching kids to love themselves? Why aren't we teaching them to accept who they are?
Because that would be creating a positive experience and bringing us together. And it would also, by accepting yourself as who you are, you're able to accept others when you're not holding on to any kind of damage inside.
Yes.
It
just goes to show you who's in charge, though, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. The people that want the power are the nastiest ones. They are the toxic ones. And it's something that I know I joke when I come over here, I do jest a lot about what I'm doing over on Dragonstorm. But one of the things that I have discovered doing this content, speaking with other abuse survivors and learning more about personality disorders, is the very fact that these people who were victims at one time in their early lives decided not to take that leap to heal themselves, to face themselves, and instead prioritized putting on a false facade, creating a narcissistic shell, and just looking about as other people as objects. They can't face themselves. They can't, because of the damage they have within. They kind of hate themselves in reality.
Right.
And they want to pass that pain on. They come across someone who's like a youthful, beautiful, full of life, optimist, and they see that and they adore it, and then they want to destroy it. And this is what's been going on systematically over generations in this country and in others by people who have attained power, because the best way to abuse others is to have a position of power, of leverage, money, and control. The way that we have seen the way that we have seen the media be taken over, just completely absconded by these types, blanket us completely with misinformation and lies. is just one more facet to these illusionists trying to keep us separated, divided, and keep the truth from us. But we are luckily at the end of an age. We are coming to the end of an era. We are entering the age of Aquarius in 100 years or so. So they can't stop it entirely. There is a great awakening that is taking place. And depending on your faith, depends on how you see it. You can, it's not doomsday. Doomsday cults make me a little nuts because like you're wishing for the end of the world, but it is a change. It is a change in our world. There is going to be an awakening that takes place.
Yes.
And that's why you see a lot of this talk come up from different religious communities.
Yeah. And it just, I hope we're supporting the right communities. That's all I'm saying. Like really look at who's running the show right now. Who's running the show? The idea that we make fun of people trying to protect kids, the idea that before Elon Musk bought Twitter, now X, they would sometimes, give you put you in Twitter jail for putting hashtag protect our children. Like,
listen,
it's terrifying to think
it is terrifying. And we have been programmed for so many years over social media, Hollywood, politicians, media for so long now. That it gets to the point where, you put out a comment talking about beating up a dude who just beat up a chick in front of you, and you get clowned for it. People hate you for it and do hate segments for it. That's how backwards we are. Like, okay, so beating a woman is okay. That's where we're at right now. Like having to intervene in that is a bad situation.
It's almost like blaming the victim, like you being he deserved it. Like,
brother, I'm a narcissistic abuse.
He wanted it.
I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. I am used to blame the victim.
That's guilty until proven innocent.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's because people who are toxic, they're on top of their game. They already know they're wrong. They already know they're going to cause damage, and they've got to create a story to cover up or to blame the people who are hurt.
Amen.
Well, and I do want to echo your sentiments, Walton. There is a shift coming. Programs like this and an audience like this are symptoms of that shift. And if you want to call it the second coming of Christ, I think it's the second coming of Christ is going to be through the Christ consciousness that humanity will embody.
Amen.
We're going to learn to see each other as one spirit. That's the root of the word namaste, is like the light in me salutes the light in you, and everything else can fuck off pretty much. The
material world isn't the important thing. It's how we treat one another, because once we leave this shell, we are all going back to what I believe is, like, in the way you put it,
is God.
Is God. Yeah.
I love that, dude. And even Tesla himself said the day that science starts to pay attention to non-physical phenomena, they'll make more progress in 10 years than they had in the past 100.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's unbelievable, dude. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you to the Twitter. I didn't even realize. I just tried, hey, let's throw this thing on Twitter. We've had roughly about 45 to 50 people watching on Twitter alone.
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So guys over on Twitter, please, if you can, Rumble, or I put it in the chat on Twitter, or X, excuse me. It's hard for me to get that. But please, if you can, I put Rumble and YouTube, throw me a follow over there. And you probably can see the other chat too when we bring it up. So make sure, Coil's over there too, Immortal Coil, and Mr. Grant, holy shit. The author, Stephen Walton, and the other guys, Wanton, Grant, and Wanton.
Stephen Wanton.
Stephen Wanton. He's the devil. This was a fun show. And we're going back to the root of what Aluminum Spork has been all about. And it is about life out there, ancient histories that have been warped, and the histories they're teaching us aren't the truth. We're already seeing that just in the last 100 years, last 20 years. The idea, communism destroying their past, knocking down statues, doing all this. Hey, Abraham Lincoln's a racist. Sure he is. Okay, let's do that. So we have to stand strong. And I think we are coming to a high water mark where sanity and honesty and spirituality and just human kindness will come back. This is another side of the Spork, and I hope you guys enjoy the show, because that's what we're going to be doing. And we will still talk about other things on other shows, Hollywood and all that shit. I think this is the battle. some people call it the culture war, but I think it's the soul of humanity that we're fighting.
Very
for.
true.
So
That's
Very
exactly
true, Scott.
correct. Yeah.
so thank you, everybody. Coyle, let them
Yes,
know
sir.
where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, you can join me on my YouTube channel, Immortal Coil. Walton's dropped several links in the chat. Tonight, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Join us live for Savage Spirituality. I'll be talking a little bit more about the ET encounters, and then specifically a time where I tried to advocate for contact with one of my friends, and then how it turned out. It's going to be interesting. I hope to see a lot of you over there. We'll talk for around an hour and then just kind of let the chat run the show, which is how it's been going the past couple weeks. Because truthfully, you guys come up with some killer questions, and
Amen.
yeah, I have all this knowledge in my head, and if people aren't framing questions, then I just kind of get stuck on a record of like, hey, love and light, man, and we got to treat each other good, and there's life
hippie.
out there. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I'm loving
Yeah.
Brian McMahon right now talking how Peter Pan was the villain. He was.
There you go. It's kind of like Ralph Macchio was the bad guy in Karate Kid.
Oh, that's some of my favorite shit right there. Oh man, because hey, I want us to ascend to that next level of spirituality, but damn,
Same.
do I love movies. Thank you, brother. Walton, Dragonstorm, congratulations on that amazing point
Thank
of
you.
10K. And I think
10,000.
I think 20,000 is coming real quick. Hopefully
man.
my stall has stopped and I'll meet you there. But let them
You
know where they
absolutely
can
will,
find you.
dude. We're going to rise up together, guys. Thank you so very much, everyone who subscribed, supported this channel. This channel means a lot to me. Scotty is a great friend. It is rare that you have people who stick with you through thick and thin against all adversity, and that's what my friends Immortal Coil, Spork News Podcast, people like E-Type Coin, The Place to Be Reviews, DJ Odyssey, Tina Bojan, wonderful, beautiful people, Ryan Roger Athy. Please make sure to come if you are interested in talking about spiritual topics, or narcissistic abuse, awareness, and recovery from a spiritual perspective. Please come hang out with the Sage and the Savage this Sunday, myself and Immortal Coil. We're going to be looking at Professor Sam Vakin and his work. And, we're just about, we're trying to build this momentum up, all right? The train wreck express is going to come across the country. Two people, dysfunctional people, trying to tell you you're worth it. And we may hit on a few abuse victims along the way. But we're going to have fun. We're going to build one another up, support each other. And that's what we do over there. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, your likes, your subscriptions. And just remember to share the light, guys. Share the knowledge. I am Lodonis, Ravenwolf, Dragonstorm, your seer and sage. Hail to all my fellow survivors and thrivers from narcissistic abuse. Remember to share the light, know your worth, believe in yourself, wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other, and suffer no fools.
Muted. I was muted. I was going with you on that one. Amen to that.
Thanks,
Guys, once again, thank you everybody in the chats. You guys rock. Next stream, thank you. Brian, I'm glad you said that. I will be on vacation with my kids. We're going to be checking out two things. An eclipse that they'll may not see in for a very long time.
Right.
And Legoland. So why not?
Awesome.
So there won't be a Monday stream. Maybe we'll have our Thursday stream, which right now is anime, because I do like talking about it, but my channel might be moving more into what we've been discussing tonight, because it just is topics I enjoy. But my channel's a buffet. It's like me. It's crazy. You can have a little bit of everything. So good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. One of these days I will get an updated members list, but until then we're gonna go out with we're going out with our theme song, because it's probably right now for me is the best theme song out there right now, and this is all because of Mr. Grant Gregory. Peace, everybody. One love. Yeah, right there. I always want Peter Griffin.
Aluminum Spork.
Good night, everybody.